Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Overcoming technical difficulties just to be with you guys.
Great.
I'm on an angle. Like the lean tower pieces.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Other way.
No, that's straight
I'm
now.
just messing with you. Okay.
Good.
Good morning. Thank you, camera lady Kirsten. Happy Sunday, fun day. You know, the next line, right, is underway. All right, to get started today, we're gonna take a little journey to the front of our mats. We're gonna bring our heels out to the corners of those mats and angle the toes to face outwards. Now I'm at the camera, so I'm just pointing them with my hands. As you bring straightness to the legs, let's bring some hollowness to the belly. Let's take the shoulders and let's round them internally so they have a big round with a nice roundness to the back itself. The palms should be facing, backwards, somewhere around there. As you draw up the shoulders, I like to open the hands and rotate them all the way around as far as they can go. And when they find that spot, take a big breath in. And as you exhale, raise those arms to salute the sun. Oh. Cup the fingers, a little unexpected, but we're here, so let's just work with it. Now, as we cup the fingers, imagine we have a grapefruit in each hand with a string that's pulling on a slight diagonal away from the body, allowing our shoulders to rise, our arms to straighten, keeping those bellies nice and hollow. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, sweep the arms down and bend through the legs, kind of like a plie. And what do you call it? Not yoga, ballet. As you inhale, stand tall, cup, pull, inhale, exhale, sweep, yay. And do that for a few more repetitions as we begin to warm the body. Remember to facilitate this process with breath. Inhaling as you raise your body, exhaling as you lower. On the next repetition, upwards, hold, step the toes straight forward. And as you fold forward, release that breath. As your hands find your mat, because you've walked them through your feet. Turn the fingers to face backwards and start walking, and allow that spine to find a lot of flexion. As you walk your hands forward again, walk them past the feet and all the way forward. And as you inhale, extend to a flat back. Exhale, hold. And do that for a few more repetitions. On the next repetition, keep the back extended. Take the ball of each big toe, push it into the mat, and try to get a little more straightness in the legs as you draw that booty doors backwards. On the next breath, as you release it, begin to stack Pilates style your spinal column as you come back to standing and salute the sun. Let's step back slightly and allow our bodies to fold down with hands on the front part of the mat, stepping back into plank. Let the knees descend to the earth, but keep the toes tucked under. Draw the hips backwards. Bring some flexion to your spine as you float the upper body forwards. As the spine straightens, allow your torso to drop in between the arms and spiral your elbows to the central line of your mat. As you inhale, flex the spine as the hips draw back. As you exhale, bring straightness to the spinal column as you float forward. And do this for a couple more repetitions. Holding back with spine flex. Take your feet and flip onto the tops and spread the knees to the edge of the mat, wider or narrow, whatever your body requires, to allow your hips to sink a little deeper and to get a little nice opening through those shin muscles. And as you enjoy that for a breath or two, walk your hands a little more forward to get a nice lat stretch. As you inhale, raise that body, tuck the toes, step hands, knees, and feet out to the edge of the mat or body appropriate distance. Let the upper body, the torso, descend in between the arms, rotate the elbows inwardly, and then float the knees. and then gently alight them upon the earth, and do that for a few more repetitions. Again, moving with breath, inhaling as the knees raise, exhaling as they lower. On this next elevation, pull the hips to the sky. As you drive your heels to the earth, walk your hands back towards your feet. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Back is an extension. Ball of each big toe pushes to the mat as you try to garner a little more straightness to the legs. Hips draw back, fingers walk forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Pilates style. Raise up, salute the sun, cup the fingers, diagonally pull those arms away, rotate the elbows in towards the center line so the palms also rotate to a more rear orientation. As you inhale, pull higher, and as you exhale, relax everything and say good morning. We're not done yet. It's the warm up. Now, position your feet under hips and then take that right foot and step it forward. As we lunge in this position, that back heel has a skyward orientation, not out to the side. Take those hands of yours onto the hips and begin to piston that rear heel towards the earth and up. Now, depending on how wide your stance is, may not go all the way down. It's not important. What is important is just the movement of up and down. As we maintain a nice vertical orientation of that upper body of ours, do a few more reps. And on the next rep, hold it up, take the ball of that front big toe, push it into the mat and bring some straightness to that front legs as we now chop through the hips and let that upper body descend forward. And then we slowly pull back. And do that for a couple more repetitions. Explore some of the range down. As the muscles vascularize, as they get blood flow, you might be able to experience a little more depth. And all you have to do is try. Holding up, stepping back foot forward, changing up by driving the opposite foot back. And once again, we start the same process, opposite side. The movement between the low and high position of the foot. You know what I'm going to say, right? It's not a drop down and push up. Tension through the range of up and down motion. On the next up, hold up. Ball of that left big toe pushes to the mat, and as you bring straightness to that left leg, chop through the hips and begin to fold and unfold for a few repetitions. Enjoy that nice lengthening of your gluteal. You might also feel implications down into the hammies or hammy because it's just one side really. Maintain your balance through the range of motion. Holding up, this time back foot powering forward as we stand with feet hip width apart. Bring hands over hearts. As we raise the elbows, rotate the fingers inwardly. Yes. Seriously, this is a serious movement. Take a big breath in and also extend the spinal column, drawing elbows high. And when you're ready, as you exhale, shoot those arms to salute the sun and continue all the way down as we fold down, plank it up, down dog it, doggone it, and float it back to plank and do that for a few repetitions. As we make progression by allowing the down dog to become a flexed spine as we fold forward, straight spine as the hips pull up and back to down dog. And then we find calmness by bringing the knees to the earth with appropriate, body appropriate width of knees and hands. Let the head with control drop towards the earth. Imagine a string in the center part of the spine and pull it towards the sky. And as you do so, take that pubis
And round it inwardly and upwardly towards that belly button. Pull that belly up and into the spinal column. Try to raise that whole torso like it's pulling away, like the curl of a shrimp, towards the sky. And then reversing that, laying the back of the head by simply pulling the chin up and in towards that neck of yours and flipping the tailbone to the sky. We're going to add some tension in through the belly by taking that belly button and try to pull it in towards the spinal column. Rotate the elbows inwardly. Let the torso drop in between those arms and reverse. Driving, pulling that shrimp-like body styling you've got going on towards the sky. And then reverse. And then reverse. And then rep this out for a couple more times. And coming back to neutral spine, floating the knees, pulling the hips high, driving the heels earthward as we walk hands back to feet. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Pilates style, hips tuck under vertebrae by vertebrae, lumbar to thoracic spine, where you rise up, arms salute the sun. And then we let the hands fall over hard as we plant left foot and right foot along the sides of the mat. Get a nice wide stance, body appropriate width. And feel a nice little
That's your
pull.
new tagline.
I know, ever since we cued into that, we're gonna keep it. Now, we're gonna take our wardrobe malfunction, hands over heart, and we're gonna take our toes and we're gonna turn them in towards the center line, ever so slightly. Oh yeah, doesn't that feel better? Does feel the same basically. Now, legs are straight, hips pull back, upper body's long. As we fold, I like you to kind of just begin to open up the glutes, the hammies, and take a couple reps. And then we're going to add some progressions into this. And oh, what fun we're going to have. Are you looking forward to it? You're smiling nervously, Kirsten. All right, on the hold up, we're going to release the hand over heart. Palms are going to open forward. We're going to draw back our elbows. And here we go, folks. We're going to start to open the palms away. So we have about a 90-degree bend, maybe a little more obtuse than that. As we hold on this, we're going to come back to this exercise. And as you do so, I'd like you to try to keep your spinal column long. So we're really isometrically working those muscles that help stabilize the shoulder, especially the ones involved with exterior rotation. This is often a problematic or challenging in any event movement because a lot of our sedentary behavior wants us to round inwardly. So we're just practicing the opposite to help strengthen those muscles. Couple more reps. And then the next rep, we're going to hold down and give our body what it feels it needs by taking those hands to the earth. As you inhale, extend to a flat back. As you exhale, draw the hips backwards, walk the fingers forward. Let's take the right arm, sweep it to the sky, and as we begin windmills, we're going to alternate side to side. As we progress to the quantity, let's not use the quality of the movement. So make sure you're not drifting forward onto the toe box. Quite the opposite. We want to pull back to weight to the heels. Let's bring both hands to the earth and then step them up onto the hips and raise that upper body to become torso. Let's turn the toes, angle from the center line. Let's bring that sumo style squat to the body. And as we lower down, we're going to bring some straightness to that left leg and then switch from side to side. Now, if your body wants to take over and start leaning in, we're going to try to get more weight to the back part of the body, more of the posterior chain. We've got a lot of leg muscles working here. Try to go straight to straight, side to side.
And as you make the movement across, try to just be translating at a single level of the hips. So we're not rising and settling. We have a single plane of movement all the way across. Do a couple more reps. Oh my goodness. And then bring it back center, stand it tall, extend the arms out, and then squat and raise. And as we squat and raise, try not to succumb to that desire of the body to rotate inwardly. Try to keep long through the spinal column. Using the hands as cantilever, try to bring more weight back into the heel as opposed to the front part of the foot. Try to increase the depth down. Can stand taller than you are, but you can try to get more sink to new lows today. All right, holding up, hands over heart, feet step forward, right foot shoots back, and as we come to face the front again, keep hands over heart, and separate the feet hip width apart. Take a knee bend, both knees, and as we lower down into a chair-like position, let those arms shoot forward, bring the palms and fingers interlock, and try to lower down a little lower. Keep the head tall, elbows rotating earthward, and slowly raise and lower your body. When we stand tall, hips remain square, shoulders rotate right, center, and left. When we hit center again, take it down. Slowly raise. Right, center, left. Squat. Enjoy the next few repetitions. Everyone arrive back at center. Hands over heart. Feet planted firmly, ball of each big toe nicely engaged. Pull hips back and fold halfway forward. Your version of half. Now, if your head's fallen, re-engage the muscles of the neck. Imagine the chin pulling up and in, and head pulled long by imaginary string. Chest is proud, legs are straight. Float the upper body forward, straight legs, ball of big toe, lots of pressure. Now, straighten through the knees, pull the legs into the center line, unfold the upper body. Keep the legs pulling to the center line. Legs pull center line, fold. Legs pull center line, raise. Couple more reps, enjoy them. Trembling's good if you can make that pull significant where you get a little bit of vibration. Good stuff, just saying. And when you rise tall, shake it all out. Take it down to the mat. If you got water, grab it. Enjoy it. Cheers to everybody. Good. And no, class is not over. Little bit of a break as we bring our left thigh, right shin to kind of mimic the corner of our mat. You're gonna take that right leg backwards and put a 90-degree angle in that knee of yours and a 90-degree angle through both legs, through the hip. Let's descend the forearm to the earth. And then let's take the palm, open it to the sky, and then rotate that thumb backwards. So we have exterior rotation in the shoulder.
While we're waiting to that arm, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, you don't need, you can always be in a different spot. There's always modifications, which could be just basically hand and still exterior rotation. Whatever works best for you. Now, as we take this, I'd like you to bring that right arm up to the sky and then take that right shoulder and open it backwards. open without collapsing. So if you drift it down into that shoulder, I'd like you to push strongly out through the shoulder on that left side as you pull right hand up and rotate it backwards, arms straight. Big inhale, exhale, arms straight, fold forward. Let that torso descend over that left leg. Cup the fingers, grab that grapefruit, string, imaginary, pulling that grapefruit as you grab it and hold on to it as it opens that shoulder, keeping that nice elongation across the chest, and then sweeping back down again. And then one more time, raising up, pulling through, and then relaxing, only to switch up to the opposite side. The right leg frames the corner of the mat as we set up that left side with the 90-degree bends as described previously. I'm going to descend down onto the forearm with that nice exterior rotation, palm facing the sky. Left hand reaches to the sky. Left hand opens backwards. It's really the left shoulder. We have that nice expansion. It's really kind of working the chest, pulling that pec major and minor as we sweep forward the hand and fold the body. Keep that nice stretch in the external aspects of our hip, pulling long and strong through the whole range of motion. Another repetition after this, and we're moving on. As that left hand descends to the earth, bring both legs forward. I'm going to reposition myself on the mat with heels angling to the corner. I found a nice sit bone connection to the mat. Without the panda of our body's desire, I'm going to straighten the spine and bring hands over heart. As I keep the spinal column nice and straight, we're going to work on some postural type of behavior, mostly with the shoulders. So how we're going to facilitate this is we're going to keep a little push of the palms together. So this is practicing more inward rotation, those muscles kind of pushing, pulling, working some of the external rotators also, which is nice. And then we're going to bring more external rotation by taking the palms, releasing them, and then sweeping behind. As we sweep behind, I like you to kind of walk at about a 45-degree angle. So if the hip formed two 90-degree segments, the back segment, 45 degrees from that, kind of walk, or your best guess at it, walk the hands away on that angle. Now, as we hold tall, I can make proud, and I like you to make wide the shoulders, holding them off the center line with the chest crowded out. Pull it forward, let the fingertips kind of drag along the earth. They're cupped, right? So the fingertips are on the earth. And as we hold on this, keep that chest nice and proud. Walk the fingers out a little more if you've got it. Bring those shoulders a little more off the center line. Try to rotate the shoulder carriage backwards. Hold for a couple breaths. And as you release that next breath, hands over heart, Pilates style, take it down. Oh. And then Pilates style, bring it back up as we work the core, as we begin that focus. We all know the mechanics of the movement. Chin drops, spine is curved, arched, as we plant each vertebrae and sweep arms backwards. We only do so to bring it back forward, drop the chin and peel vertebrae by vertebrae as we remain at arched in the back. Guiding arms long between the feet if it's there. As you inhale, extend to a flat back. As you exhale, bring flexion back to the spine, and Pilates style, take it down. Cup the fingers, rotate the cup fingers to the sky, and slowly lower down vertebrae by vertebrae. Keep the fingers cupped as you sweep those arms backwards. Keep them cupped as you come back forward and do a couple more repetitions, nice and slow. We're just simply keeping our shoulders and exterior rotation or the muscles working for that process of opening. On the next rep, as we arise, we're going to hold down for a nice stretch and turn the palms to face the earth. Let the fingers walk forward and just enjoy for a couple breaths. On your next breath, inhale, extend, go flat back, and walk it back into our staff pose or staff meeting, hands over heart. Nice. Now, with assistance at hand, without if it's possible, step the right foot in and then step it back out. And do the same as we walk from side to side. Same mechanics. You're going to try to rotate the knee towards the earth and then raise it and step it out. Same thing, opposite side. Try to remain on your sit bones as we create that opening opportunity of the knee and those hips. All right, couple more reps. Oh, yeah, now flex the feet, lower the fingertips to the earth, let the fingers do the walking. Good old yellow pages ad. Okay. Spine's nice and flexed. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Flex the feet. Wrap the fingers or hands over them. If your body's not there today, grab a towel. Use the towel on the top, on the toe box. And you use it to pull those toes for a nice stretch through the plantar region of each foot. Toes are pulling down towards the shin. Get that nice pull. Oh, yeah, to the bottom of the feet. Beautiful. Now, release. Bring it tall. Pilates style. Take it down to the mat. As we step both heels in significantly, and I mean all the way up to your butts. Let's take that low back, and we're going to try to imprint each vertebrae of the lower back onto the spinal column. And then at a certain point, you'll be able to peel your tailbone up off the earth. So you're going to try that and hollow out through the belly as you do so. Now, slowly imprint the lower spine vertebrae as you return the tailbone back to the mat. And then roll up onto the tailbone and feel the low back skin pull up off the mat and reverse that. So as we rock the calves, rock the pelvis. Yes, I know, an old Clash reference for those that were alive in that era. And do it a few more times. On the next rep, as we return that low back to the earth and begin to pull up on the tailbone, that pelvic rotation, of course, is facilitated with muscle. So I want you to kind of feel if you can get a sense of your gluteals working. And if you kind of get not heavily, but just a little bit of engagement, we're going to add to that right now by beginning to take that middle to upper spinal column while we maintain that pelvic tucking we've already engaged with. While we keep that, we're going to peel vertebrae by vertebrae up off the mat. And you should feel a bigger recruitment of those gluteals as we're trying to open the angle through the hips, making it almost like 180 degrees right across that joint. Come up onto the shoulders. Make sure your blades are flat to the mat. And then slowly from the upper to the middle and lower spine, imprint as many of the vertebrae along that pathway. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And then rock up onto your little tailbone. Oh, it's so cute. Now, roll back, roll up,
Slow and enjoy the journey. See if you can elevate the hips a little higher, a little more push, a little more engagement of those glutes. And then slowly lower down. I should add too that a lot of times when we try to exert extra effort, we begin to provide compressive behavior for our body. So if you're tensing up elsewhere to create more elevation, stop that. Don't do it. Raise the hips, push a little higher if you can. Relax the rest of the body. We're only working those butt muscles and hammies. Now, while we're here, take your left leg and extend it straight. And then lower and switch. And walk this from side to side. Now, I'm on my back of my arms. If you can elevate them off for a little extra effort if it's there. If it's not there, use the support. We want the right type of load in the muscles where we see progression in the exercise, not just the fact that we're doing it. We want to make those muscles work effectively. On the next rep, both feet down and bring each and every vertebrae back down onto the mat. As you extend the legs out straight, we should have a nice pull over those front leg muscles, the hip flexors. Point the toes, take the arms above the head. Use the fingers to pull the opposite direction that the toes are now pulling in to feel a nice, long body stretch. Take a couple breaths and enjoy the silence. Let's bring flexion back to the feet. Hands over chest. Cup them. Imaginary grapefruits begin to pull to the sky. Keep the grapefruits pulling to the sky as you tuck the chin, feel the vertebrae, and keep those hands pulling skyward as you now bring straightness to the spinal column. Pull, pull, pull. As you exhale, bring hands over heart. We're back in staff pose, another staff meeting. A lot of meetings today. Take the heels, push them towards the corners of the mat. Keep those toes flexing in, bending backwards. Big inhale, exhale. Spine long, and then when you hit the point where you can't fold anymore, spine flexes. Hands reach to the feet. Inhale, extend, pull with the arms. Exhale, pull, relax the feet, point the toes. As we pull and lengthen through the lats, we engage the lats to pull and lengthen through the plantar as we extend the spine. You might feel a little bit of pull up and into behind the knees. That's great stuff if you can get that. And if not, it's just a work in progress. All right, hold up, spine long, arms pulling back. Toes are being pulled towards the earth. If we find that nice length, take the back of the knees, pull them down towards the mat. Enjoy that extra little bit of length. And then relax everything and lie on your left side. Not nap time. We're going to bring a 90-degree bend in the knee and a 45-degree angle. So if you just shot it directly from the hip to the side of the mat, you'd have roughly a 45-degree angle between that side shot and the thigh. And it's kind of clamshell. So we're going to bring that left and right leg together again, dynamic duo, kind of like Batman and Robin.
You just stack your knees in.
Because that's not as fun saying what I just said. That's why.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to bring some flexion to the feet. Kirsten goes, why don't you just say stack your knees? Because it's not as fun. Now, I'm going to take my left forearm onto the earth so the palm's aiming to the sky, and I've rotated it as far back as it'll go, and I haven't fallen into that left shoulder. As we keep that, I'd like you to pull those spinal columns straight. So we're not kind of curving through the spine, you've almost lifted, right, the center part of the spine towards the sky. And then we're gonna start to open and close the right leg. It's like a hinge on the feet. And this hinge creates an opening, but the opportunity here is to find the width of the opening increasing without rotating the hip backwards. So we're just gonna keep the plane of the chest and the chest in the same plane that it's in. No rotation through the torso, only rotation through that hip socket. Couple more reps, spine long. We're not doing any lateral flexion. Holding long for one more rep. Holding up, trying to create a little more opening. Try to create a little more opening. Now, while you create that opening, take the right hip, roll it forward, and open with the right knee, and then relax and switch sides. Oh. Now you get to check out my rear end. Stack both knees. How efficient is that? Center part of the spine pulling long. Right forearm sweeping backwards, and begin to enjoy a nice exercise for your hips. As you progress through the repetitions, make sure you're not drifting into the shoulder. You have a nice, strong push. You can be lying down also. We are tension-free through the neck, and we are exploring range of motion of that left leg as it opens. On the next rep, hold it up, try to open a little more. Try to open a little more. Take the left hip, rotate it forward, take the left knee, open a little more. And then relax. Let those legs extend straight as you come back into the seated position. Widen up the stance. Find the sit bones, walk forward, and enjoy a nice little stretch to the upper body. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Drop the chin, curve the spine, Pilates style, take it down, exteriorly rotate those shoulders. When you arrive on the mats, take the palms now, rotate them to the earth with fingers cupped, so the tips become your connection point. As we begin to push the fingertips into the mat, I'd like you to proud out the chest. Then we're going to add in that little hollow out of the belly. Low back skin may not touch the mat. That's fine if it doesn't. As you step your heels just an inch or two, a little scooch, slight bend in the knees, heels hip width apart or in around, or your best guess. Now, very important here, I'd like you to take your feet and try to take the top of them towards the shin. So that's called foot flexion. Keep the feet in flexion as you internally rotate, as you bring your thighs and your toes, with feet flexed, of course, together. As we keep the chest proud and fingertips pushing to the earth, we're adding on to the progression of this exercise. We should feel that little bit of engagement with those inner thigh muscles. I'd like you to try to pull the inner thigh muscles together, but most importantly, keep those feet flexing. Give me as much foot flexion as possible, and then try to squeeze the knees simultaneously. As the fingertips push to the earth, keep the chest proud. And now, if you can, try to push from the heels to create a little more activation in those inner thigh muscles. They should kind of kick up a little bit. Did you feel it?
Mhm.
Hold on this for a couple breaths, and then relax. Keep the heels in place and let the knees open wide. As we continue to use the heels as a hinge, we're going to rotate back inward. Hold to the toes, face the sky. Flex those feet and turn them into each other. Keep those feet, work the pull of the toes towards the shin. Work that, work it hard. Pull, pull, pull. Now squeeze the thighs
and push with the heels and enjoy that nice, hopefully intense activation of those inner thighs. They can tremble and shake and do whatever they want. You're still going to use them for another breath or two, and then relax, and then let them open up once again. All the exterior rotation that your body will allow. And then third and final, here we go. Hinging with those heels, flexing with those feet, rotating them in, toes touch, fingertips to the earth, arms straight, chest proud, hollow belly, thighs squeeze. Feet continue to pull hard towards the shins. Push with the heels, bring that big activation. Push a little harder with the heels, try to get a little bit of lift if you can, if it's there. And then relax. Extend the legs straight. Point the toes, sweep those arms above head. And pull fingers and toes opposite direction. Hollow out that belly. Drop the chin into the chest as your arms are raised over the chest, and slowly, Pilates style, take it all the way up. Keeping this flex spine, allow the hands to dive between the feet, or towards the feet, or beyond the feet. Cup your fingers, rotate the palms to the sky. Inhale, extend to a flat back. And bring hands over heart. Nice job. Almost there. Son of a gun.
Stretch time?
Is it stretch time? That's what we've been doing. Nice stretching. Well, my last bit was not stretch. So we're going to take our figure 4 stretch. We're going to bring our left foot in. You can find any spot that's best. You know, some of us have different range of motion, flexibility. So whatever's appropriate, bring it down. And if you've done panda, don't do that. Nice and tall. Now, let's take that left knee and then open it up. Open it towards the center line. And then let's use our hand. We're going to help to kind of pull a little bit, get a little length on that left-hand side over the hip, and then relax, release, and then slowly, using the muscles of the outside, I want you to pull towards the earth, the knee. And then let's do one more repetition. Pull up, assist, pull in, and then release that assistance, and then use the muscles to pull towards the earth. Slowly, the knee, it shouldn't drop. Now, while you hold on this, hands come to earth, fingertips walk towards that right extended foot. Let the upper body fold. And let the head relax. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Walk it back in, switch up sides. Right knee pulls up, assist it ever so slightly. Release the assistance and slowly create that external rotation of the hip. Try to keep that spine long and shoulders relaxed next to. One more time, up. With assistance. Release, slowly rotate back down. Fingertips find their walking path and start along it. Spinal column folds. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Walk it all the way back in. Extend both legs, shake them out. Cross them whatever style you want. Bring your hands over heart, and let me thank you for joining us today. Namaste.
Bye-bye. Okay, looks like we lost Sue. Did the Xfinity try?
We're on 18.